Yo, I think I am streaming right now. I'd like to think I am anyway. The sun is absolutely blinding my arse. Jesus Christ. It's not like my face is not tan enough already, to be honest. Like, I'm standing outside all day and I'm getting a lot of sun, but my torso is like so white. It's unreal. If you would see me, like, literally my face doesn't match the rest of my body whatsoever, which is absolutely ridiculous, but it is what it is. Okay, well, the stream is good, so I think we're gonna just go ahead with it. So today's plan is that we're just gonna do a little bit of gaming. I don't have like a ton of time, I'm not gonna lie, and I am just as usual, just tired, I guess. But today's been a long day. Got up, I think, around 6 a.m. and then I went for a run, and it was just lashing rain, and I got absolutely drenched. Like, when I say I got wet, I mean it, you know, like I got really soaking wet. Like, you can only imagine. I had three stuff in the dryer after I came home. So I had a shirt, a short, and my hat, and I immediately put it into the dryer. And my shirt, even after half an hour, having three clothes only in the dryer, still did not dry, which is absolutely nuts. And the sun is hopefully gonna go behind the tree very soon, because it is blinding me like crazy. So other than that, I got home from my run, and then I went to work. I did the gym. I went on my second run in the afternoon, and then I'm home. I've already prepared food for tomorrow, so it's all good in the hood. It was a busy day, a long day, but overall a good day. It's funny, like, the last thing I wanted to do today was go for a run, not to even mention the second run. And then it's funny how your mind is like, no, you're tired, you need to rest, and you won't be able to do this, and then you end up doing it. And then it just works out somehow, it's just kind of ironic. I'm thinking, where is this kind of line coming from? Maybe from the curtain. Anyway, regardless, I have a line across my face. I don't know what that is, I swear. But anyway, the sun is setting behind the trees, so I'm gonna turn this back on. If I end up looking like a ghost and the sun comes out again, my bad, apologies, you're gonna have to deal with it. So overall, training's going good. Everything else is good. And one more thing that I want to say before I start the gameplay is that if the stream ends up lagging for whatever reason, and if you're not watching this live, I advise you to just skip ahead, because if it starts lagging, I will obviously try to pay attention to that, and I will try my best to not talk when I see it lagging, because it doesn't, you won't catch anything. Point is, just skip ahead probably a minute or so, and it usually just like sorts itself out. So if it starts lagging, skip ahead about a minute or so, and then should be okay. But when I'm live streaming, obviously you can't skip ahead, so you're just gonna have to wait maybe around a minute or so to get itself sorted, because it can be a little bit tricky. So yeah, just gonna chill out today, just gonna play some Forza as we usually do, nothing extraordinary. If you got any questions, whatever, or anything that I should know about, or the stream is lagging, just let me know down in the comments below, and I'll try to sort it out. But other than that, let's get this going. Forza Horizon 6. So far, I have good kind of, things to say about the game. I mean, my expectations were not like super high, but they were not super low, so it kind of matches my expectations so far. It's a good game. It's nice to just like chill out a bit. I was thinking of actually playing it without doing the stream, but now I'm so much in the habit of like playing this game and streaming at the same time that I'm like, no, I just stream. Even if I don't really have much to talk about during the stream, I just prefer to just, why not do both at the same time? Here comes the sun again. I'm gonna turn white as a ghost. Don't let it fool you. It's not coffee. It's just chicory root. Um, Obviously, I won't be drinking coffee this time of the day. So the stream, I think it's probably gonna be. I'm probably gonna stream for about maybe 20, maybe 30 minutes, half an hour. Because I'm feeling a little bit, as I said, tired. So just gonna need to rest a bit. Now, I want to make sure that the sound is good as well, because the sound can be a little bit too loud. So just give me a second and let's see how this sound is actually. Yeah. No, I think that should be okay actually. Should be okay. So, but if the game's sound is a little bit too intense or too loud, let me know and I'll adjust it. But I think as far as I heard it, I think it sounds okay. It's decent enough. You can still hear the game. You can still hear me, just yapping about. So, yeah, good stuff. Tomorrow is probably I pretty much have the same plan for tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm gonna stream tomorrow, but we'll see how the day ends and how the day unfolds eventually. Still planning to get my run in. Still have to do the gym. So it's funny, like as much work as I'm putting into the gym and the running, I wish I would be able to do the same with like food and dieting. Not like dieting in a sense like, okay, like just eating like salad or whatever. Like my diet is, I should say, maybe the kind of lifestyle and the foods that I'm eating are actually quite solid. Like, for example, hold on, I just have to adjust the brightness because it's getting really overcasty and cloudy. That's how Dublin is. So the food themselves are like quality foods, but it's just me overeating on these foods. Like, no matter how clean the food is, obviously there's calories in, calories out, and I feel like I'm not doing a lot of good when it comes to, running, and also like trying to lose a little bit of weight as well, because the more I run, the more hungrier I am. So it's like kind of counteracts each other. But it happens. By the way, we got this car yesterday, and I have yet to put some miles on the clock, so I think this is what we're gonna do now. Let's see, do we have any, no wheel spins? I have, because we used it yesterday. So we're just gonna see what's next. Okay, what should we do next? I've tried to do that yesterday, but for whatever reason, when I went to the event, it just did not start, so I don't want to risk it for a chocolate biscuit. So we're gonna do the cross country. I don't want to pronounce the two words that are in front of the cross country, because I'm probably just gonna end up messing it. So yeah, it's funny how that is. And yeah, all the social media stuff as well is just very, how do I say this? Like, I'm a little bit more back on social media, because I don't know if you guys seen my last vlog when we went to Spain and I did this kind of social media detox. Um, it was good. I really needed it, to be honest. It was just getting to a point where it was just overwhelming. But the point is that now I'm using it a little bit more often again, and I can feel it. Like, I felt the benefits of not using it as much, and now I'm also feeling the kind of downsides. Ooh, the downsides of just sort of using it a little bit more than I should, you know. But I'm not gonna be a hypocrite and say that don't use it, because obviously I use it. I'm on here. Even my phone, like, it would be very difficult for me to be without a phone, not just because of social media, but because of the everyday things, you know, like bills to pay and just like things that you don't really think about too much, like having at least, you know, quick access to GPS or whatever you need. It's probably going to be on your phone anyway. So it's not just about like ditching the phone, it's not what I'm saying, but sometimes it's actually pretty nice to get sort of outside and not really get caught up in the social media stuff, because I think it can drain you, it can pull you down, and it's just like it's not really nice. So yeah, that's also something that I have to be maybe more aware of, I think. But it's always going to be tricky, you know. You're always going to be having it in your pocket. It's always going to be with you. So it's a bit tricky, but I'm still having my screen, like I still have a black and white screen, for example. I still don't use the colors on my phone, which does sound very strange when I say this, but it does help me to, you know, to not use the phone as much. So that's also something that I've implemented and sort of still do. Um, but yeah, it just can be very draining. Even yesterday, I was just on Instagram, just scrolling a little bit, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm doing it again, and it's like I don't really want to be doing it. But at the same time, look, there are things on there that can be very inspiring. So, for example, whenever I don't really want to do something that I know I have to do, for example, running or whatever that is that I really need to do, I do get inspired by some people, you know. Like I watch someone that is whoever that person is, that is like very disciplined. I'm always like, you know, like shit, like I can't do it, you know. And so it has its good sort of, I don't know, effects or whatever you can call it. Now let's get back to the game a bit. So we got this RAM. It doesn't seem to be too fast. We can always upgrade it, but I want to see our options. Let's see what our options are. Okay, we have quite a lot of options, I see. So not as much as I thought, but these are only the recommended cars. I'd say we have more than this. Should we buy one or should we not? I mean, we got money, so I don't think that should be a problem. Hold on, what kind of car do we have? I forgot. We got a Ram. Yeah. Do you know what? What if we actually... So it's an all-wheel drive. That's good. Can we actually tune this right now? Or we don't really have an option now? Probably not an option. Okay. So I don't think we're going to be that fast if it's fully stuck. But we'll see. Yeah, it does. The race just starts automatically, so never mind. By the way, the reason I'm always looking down... Oh no, I can't tune the car. Okay, never mind. The reason I'm always looking down and not at the camera, I'm a little bit more used to, like, I'm trying to see the chat, obviously, every now and then, and I try to see how many people are actually watching, because I have my own stream on my phone. Well, I don't want to say that I want to, but it would be nice to get like another monitor, like a separate one that I can just have on the desk, and I wouldn't have to like always use my phone for this. But in the future, step by step. By the way, I think more gameplays will be coming, and at the end of the year, when the GTA is going to be releasing, or is going to get released, hopefully, fingers crossed anyway, hopefully by that time I will have a PS, and I'm really hoping that that's going to work out, but don't want to speak too soon. We got a lot of things to deal with, and we got a lot of things that we have to pay for and get sorted, so which also costs a lot of money. So that's a little bit tricky, or can be tricky. So what difficulty are we on? So we're on highly skilled. The problem is I can't tune the car. I can only make adjustments to it. like the anti-roll bars and stuff like that. Like I'm not gonna touch this because I'm definitely gonna make the car a lot worse. Yeah, we're not the fastest ones, let's just put it that way. But we'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot. We probably won't really. I don't think we have much of a chance here, but yeah, we just need to tune it a bit. But overall, it's a nice car. It's massive. It's a massive thing. Let's see what it looks like on the inside. Looks decent. Looks a bit plasticky, but looks okay. By the way, if you don't know, like we actually just so when I'm saying like when we have other things to spend our money on right now, I mean one specific thing, which is the car right now, because I don't know if you guys know, but I think I've said this in probably the previous stream or the previous before, I don't know which stream, but I think I've said it already. So we got a car. Now it's an old car, okay, so don't ever think that we're like super rich and that we can afford a nice car. Unfortunately, it's a good car. Look, at the end of the day, it's a car, so I'm not going to complain whatsoever. But it is an old car, so it's an old Saab. It's a 2003 Saab, so it's it's quite a bit old. It has 145,000 miles on the clock, which I'm not too sure how much that is in kilometers. But I think it's around 240 maybe. I'm not mistaken. I don't wanna. I'm not too sure about that, but I'd rather like say it in kilometers. But I just unfortunately don't know, and the car just says it in miles. Anyhow, so it has a decent amount of miles on it. It could be worse, and it's old. So we have a couple of things that needs to be done on the car. So we're gonna be taking it to the mechanic in 3 weeks, which is quite a bit of time. So unfortunately, we won't be able to use the car as much as we'd like, because there are certain problems with the car right now that kind of are not allowing us to use it as frequently as we would like to use it. But hopefully it will get sorted very soon, and then we'll be able to use it as much as we would actually like to. Regarding the fuel consumption, that's also pretty high, so that's also something that it's going to be a little bit tricky to manage. Ooh, that's pretty close. Now I wonder who came first. Second? No way. That was so close. By how much? Same time. Same time. That is mad. 225, 256. By the hundred, by the thousand. That is mad. That is crazy. Yeah, so that was a good race, by the way. I thought we'll finish not even on the podium, so I'm happy with second. I wish I would have got first, but that's a bit crazy anyway. That time, that was mad. So anyway, we got the car, and we got this car for a reason, and I'll tell you the reason. We're gonna go to this Time Attack. Do you guys have any recommendations? We should go with the off-road, or we should go with the Time Attack? I go with the Time Attack. So we got this car, so I'm talking about the Saab, obviously. So just getting back to that for a second. Yeah, the money has to be spent on it. Like we'll be taking it to the mechanic, as I said, and I believe that we're gonna be paying around $1,000, which is expensive, but only, guys, if you would know how much this car cost. Like when we bought it, it was very, very cheap. I mean, obviously we're not talking like 200 or 300 euros, but it was relatively cheap compared to what the other Saabs prices are anyway. So we ended up getting the car, not not only because it was cheap, but also because it was from a friend of ours. So one of our friends decided to move back um, in their home country, and they kind of decided that probably 2 weeks prior, before they actually ended up moving, and they did not have really enough time to sell the car. And your man has offered me a decent price, but at the same time, it was I said, look, like it's a good price, but at the same time, you know, we're not really looking to buy a car right now. I'm just gonna switch the car here because it's a bit too slow for me to get from A to B, so I don't want to take too much time with that. So as I said to him, like, listen, it's a very good price, obviously, but right now we still want to save a little bit more money and then eventually buy a car at the end of the year or maybe the beginning of next year. So he was like, yeah, no problem. I just thought I would ask you, and then, you know, I'll ask around. But at first, you know, it was you that came to mind and thought I would ask. I was like, yeah, that's fair enough. That's no problem. So time went on, and I think, yeah, it's like literally almost 2 weeks have passed, and they were just about to move. Literally just prior to the day when they would have had to go and leave, he just gave me a text and he says, like, what if I give you another and a better offer? And I'm like, well, it depends on the offer, you know, like it really does depend on the offer. Anyhow, so we got it for a good price, and because we kind of knew him already, it was kind of a no-brainer. So, but I'm hoping that we'll be able to fix it, and we'll be able to have a proper car without having to worry about anything that would be major under 2 grand. That would be very nice. Obviously, insurance and things like that are not included, but I'd say for 2 grand, having a decent car that you can use for another year or so, or even 2 years, I'd say that's a pretty good deal. And I don't know if you guys know, but we live in Dublin, and the weather is just, it can be very horrendous, especially in the winter times as well. Like, it's very rainy, so it's always nice to be able to have a car, and even if you don't use it every day, it's just nice to have a car, honestly. So that's the story of how we got the car eventually. So, and I was just looking at the game and thinking that we should have tuned this car a little bit more, because yeah, I want this Ram to be a little bit more competitive to what it actually is like now, but fingers crossed. Let's see how this race goes. So I need to explore this game a lot more as well, because I've seen a lot of thumbnails, and videos, not the full length of the videos, but more so the thumbnails about this game, saying how good it is, and, you know, like the top, I don't know, 5 or 10 things that are actually new to the game and things you can take advantage of and really enjoy, and so on and so forth. And honestly, so far I've been just like doing the races, competing in events and things like that, so I haven't really done much outside of that, other than, like, obviously just the usuals, like getting a car, tuning it, and so on and so forth. It was funny, I think it was the first gameplay that I did with this on this game. We ended up buying a Toyota Supra at the end, and I still had like wheel spins, and I ended up winning, I think, the same car. And you know, literally just a couple of minutes before that, I spent money on it. Like, obviously game money, but still, that was just a little bit unfortunate. But it happens. Shit actually happens. I don't want to curse too much on a live stream, but sometimes I would like to do it. So hopefully the sun won't really come out behind the trees now, because it's just gonna blind me. I need to get like a curtain, because literally the way you're seeing me now is like I have the windows right in front of me. Um, to be honest, a better option would be not a curtain, but what do you call the things? The blinds, maybe? I think it's, yeah, I think it would be nice to get some blinds, and then that would be a little bit easier for me to adjust if I needed to, if it needs adjustments. Something that I actually got into in the past couple of days is listening to the radio. Like that's a silly thing to like, not to say, but I don't know. It's just a strange thing, not even silly. And they had a topic. Um, it was pretty much just about the people that are standing outside on the roads with like signs that say, you know, I'm proud of you, you're doing well, congratulations, you know, just you feel, you know, like you have to feel alive, and just, you know, cardboard sort of things with nice messages on them, pretty much. And then they were just talking about the fact that, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Why do people do it? Does it actually make a difference? Does it not? So I don't know. Like, I don't know what you guys think about this, but it made me think a little bit. And for me personally, when I thought about this a little bit, my very first thought was like, it's not really something that I think it's going to make someone else's day. Now, obviously, they then had someone on the call on the radio who was actually doing this stuff as well. So he's just stands outside for maybe an hour or two each and every morning before going to work, because turns out a lot of these people actually do have proper jobs. And he said, like, look, I have made numerous people's days by doing such things, and it makes me feel good as well. And I get where he's coming from, but in all honesty, if I have to say this, I will say it. I believe that it's a deformation of how we are as humans. So if everyone would be somewhat, so if everyone would do their own part, which means just being a nice person, you know, you don't, even if you're not nice on that given day, you don't have to be rude, you know, because we all have like shitty days where we don't really want to, we don't really even want to smile, we don't really want to look at each other, we don't really want to contact anyone or be in contact with other human beings, whatever, you know, we just want to be isolated, but we still have to do our daily things. You know, we're just not on top of it, and it happens. And I think, even if so, when we have days like that, if we're just doing our part, which would mean just like doing the things that we have to do and get through them without being rude to other people, that would already make a huge difference. I don't think there would be a need for this, because I feel like it's also like a very, it's trying to compensate for something that is very out of balance. So I feel like a lot of people are. So this was okay. I have to give context, more context, because this radio station that I was listening to was from Hungary. So the Hungarians are a little bit more rude, I guess, a little bit more cold. They're not as open. They're not as open-minded. They're not as maybe nice. Now, obviously, there are always exceptions to the rule, so I'm not saying everyone is like that, but overall, I'd say this is the case. So, having said that, I still believe that this is somewhat of a compensation, and it is trying to sort of balance the scales, but it tries to balance the scales. It's like almost having two extremes, you know. I don't think necessarily it's a bad thing that people do these things, but at the same time, I also believe that there would be no reason for people to go outside with signs like that if everyone would just be a decent, I'm sorry to say, but just a decent human being, you know, with like common sense, and with like, you know, with not being rude to one another, and just like trying to, you know, like, okay, oh well, shit, it's already starting. Can I not actually change car, because this is going to be very slow? Anyhow, whatever. Just going to do it with this, see how this goes. So I think there's also a car that can be bought just at the end of this little circuit. Anyhow, so I think it's just the the feeling, the need to feel to be compensated. Does that make sense? I don't know. I don't think that made sense, but hope you guys can make sense of what I'm saying. So I think it's just trying to balance the scales, but I don't think it's the way it should be balanced. I think it should be balanced a little bit more naturally. You know, if everyone would be polite enough, or at least do one good thing to fellow human beings, I think that would already make a dramatic um, and positive impact on not just on your day but on other people's day. So for example, I know we're all tired, maybe you're on public transport and you want to give you see an elderly person, and just by you giving them your seat, I think that can also make you feel, I know you're probably feeling tired, I know you probably don't want to do it, but it's almost like with doing a sport, you don't really want to do it, but once you do it, you feel better about it. You feel better about yourself, and you know that you've done something that was worth it. You know you've done something that was beneficial. Now, I believe this to be the same. So instead of, it's almost like dieting. You know, you wouldn't need to go on a diet or an extreme way of dieting if things would be, you know, balanced out in some way, or if you would be able to keep the balance, there would be no need to do extreme stuff like that. And I believe this is the case with this as well. You know, it's just, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to stand out with signs like that and saying, oh, I'm proud of you and have a good day and things like that. But I also believe it pushes that kind of limit. I believe it's just a very strange thing. Like, especially, it depends on the sign as well, what kind of sign they have on. Like, a lot of people, they were actually saying that, your man who actually did this, he says that he uses different signs, different signs for every day. And he would have signs like, things that would say, I'm proud of you. Now, for example, what do you mean I'm proud of you? Like, I don't know, that for me, that's a little bit corny. Like, you don't know that person. You don't know. I know it's, for some people, it's a pleasant thing to read, because they feel like they are being acknowledged, but I don't think that's true. I think that's a false kind of response that they get from the world, like a stranger saying, I'm proud of you, with a sign. Like, how true is that? Do you really need that to make yourself feel good? I don't know. So it was an interesting topic regardless. I really enjoyed it, and who would have thought that I'm actually gonna listen to a radio? But yeah, I just kind of began to have this habit. So yeah, that was just something I wanted to touch on because I think it was interesting. But anyhow, we are gonna try and beat our time right now. That's way too much drifting. I don't know if that's gonna help us. So the time we did while I was yapping was a 109, and that was definitely not the best cornering. No, but down by half a second. That's a lot of time. So maybe we can. Well, we are kind of improving, but I don't think we're going to be able to improve that much. So I'm going to give this another shot. We're going to go for another lap, just to see if we can actually improve. And then I think we're going to call it a day. I mean, regarding only this event, because I want to see what the card is just around the corner that can be bought. Just seeing it on the map. So that's definitely one of the features that I really like about this game, is the fact that you just go around the map and you can just end up buying different cars. They're just on the side, on the side of the road or whatever, or even a circuit like this, and you can just get them if you want it for a pretty decent price, actually. Ooh, we're actually really close. We're really close. We're gonna try to keep this nice and tidy. I think that's actually not gonna be a bad lap. Ooh, it's gonna be very close. It's gonna be very close. 8, 9. We did improve. Okay, good to know. So, what I want to do is I want to see what that car is over there. Subaru. What the hell is that on the front? Come on. Well, why not? They can always get get me with these things. Getting a Subaru. Obviously, it's gonna be by these, really close to this track. Oh yes. Now we can actually make a pretty good time with this, I believe. Okay. So we're gonna go for another one in this car, but we're only gonna do one lap. That's it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'm just gonna leave it and look for the next event. But yeah, this is a lot faster. Yeah, a lot more responsive, a lot more dynamic. This is a lot better. A lot better. So yeah, that was an interesting little combo that they had on the radio. And another thing is that, like, I always used to think about like doing a podcast, but I don't know, like, I don't know if a podcast is the way to go, but I would like to like have a routine of like at least trying to do something similar to what the radios are doing. So for example, each and every day maybe have a sort of routine or a schedule. So for example, I would be interested to do the same, but obviously with streaming instead. So that would be something that I'd be definitely interested in. Thinking about maybe, okay, not every single morning, but like on most mornings, maybe around 9 o'clock or whatever, just before people would go to work, just to tune in, just to yap about something, get some sort of a topic to talk about. I think that would be quite nice, and it could make things interesting, and it can be very much interactive, I believe, especially if more people tune in. That gives the opportunity to be a little bit more interactive. Cross country. Um, let's see. We'll spin. What's next?
Okay, Garcia, what do you want to do next?
Road racing. 3 laps.
Okay, Garcia, I
Oh,
assigned you to the road
it's
racing
pretty
team.
far away. Let's see. Let's see the map. So I've seen that I am lagging right now, so I didn't say a word because of that reason. But what I was saying is that it would be nice to just like have a certain topic and just talk about certain things very similar to what they do on the radios, and make a sort of routine out of that. So for example, having somewhat of a schedule, but again, that is also very difficult to have besides the kind of job that I have, because I'm very much reliant on this job and my schedule is a little bit all over the place. So obviously that makes things extra difficult, and it would be very much hard to just having like to create my own schedule, if that makes sense. So yeah, but that's it. If I stop talking, that's only because I'm still watching the stream, and I just don't want to talk when the stream gets laggy, because you won't really um, you won't really know what I'm saying, which again won't really make sense. So let's look for an event that we could be interested in. Okay, so let's see. So we have trophies over there. We have a car meet. Park up at the world's most iconic car meet. Points of interest discovered. Okay, we're gonna do that later on. That sounds fun. We have street racing. Let's do a bit of street racing. Why not? Why not? I'm all here for it. 100% though. But I'm definitely not gonna go around, because why would I do that?
200 meters. Turn left.
So yeah, that's definitely something I'd be interested in, as I said before, because obviously it's nice to play and then just chat to you guys, or mainly just chat to myself, because that's what I'm doing right now as well. But obviously I'm also paying attention to the game, and I don't know, maybe it could be something that maybe it can be something that could be interesting for you guys as well. That's what I'm gonna say. So
Turn left.
it would be nice. Oh Jesus, that tree is not getting out of the way. So yeah, maybe in the future, when I'll be able to have a little bit more freedom, that would be something nice to do. So just tune in. It can be very interactive, to talk about different things, different topics, even a topic like that I was just saying. So yeah. Okay, we have this car. Oh, we can go with any car. Now that makes things a little bit more interesting. What should we drive? So we got the Golf R actually in the last stream that I have yet to drive, but I don't think that's going to be very fast. Now fast again is gonna be a little bit relative. I've yet to drive the Honda. Should we drive the Honda? It's a 620 in the A category, and we got the Ford Mustang that is 6. Oh, okay. What should we go with? This one is 682. Do you know what? I kind of like this car. I kind of like that car. Why not go with that? Let's try. Tokyo City Docks. So I'm against a GR Yaris, I'm guessing. Oh no, okay, I thought it was just the two of us at first. But yeah, that is a GR Yaris, of course. What else? You got the Mitsubishi Lancer. That look, that design is just so timeless. It's a great looking car, even today. It's funny, when I used to play Need for Speed, like I think it was Underground. That used to be one of my favorite cars, and I think it's from the movies as well, obviously, from Fast and Furious. Why I like it. Ooh, too much drift. Too much drift. I was just about to say that this car actually drives and handles really well. Whoa. Don't get too pushy now. Don't get too pushy. Yeah, this is a good car. I like this Subaru. I like this. What time is it actually? Sorry, I just have to check. It's almost 7. Holy moly. So what I'm gonna do is I'll finish this and I'm gonna have to go, because I'm a little baby and I sleep early. So that's that's how I am. If I would be like, obviously, if I would have a lot more freedom, and if I wouldn't have a busy schedule, then I would stay, but recovery is very important. Sleep is muy importante. And no, no hablas español. Mi español es muy terrible. That's all I know. And this is something I keep on repeating every single time. I like this. That's all I know. Literally. I know a couple of words, but nothing major. Like, I don't even think that I would be able to get by, you know. So I really don't speak Spanish, to be honest. It's just whenever I say these things, you know, like, oh, I don't speak Spanish, my Spanish is horrible or terrible, you know, it just makes people, you know, smile a bit. And yeah, Spanish people, I mean, obviously, you know. This is an easy race. What is going on? Sometimes the difficulty seems a lot easier than what it actually is, and sometimes it feels like it's more difficult than what it actually is. It's a bit strange, but it's an easy win for us. I'm not going to complain whatsoever. Not going to complain. Good. And our car was not even the fastest car. I mean, it's decent enough, but I think it's the third fastest, or I mean, except for all the 700s. So I'm gonna look into this game a little bit more regarding of like what else we. Was that me? Oh yeah, that was my chair. I was like, what is clicking? It sounded like it's coming, like it sounded like it's electricity, but thankfully it's not. Like I'm about to get freaking, you know, electrocuted here. It's not something I'd be into, to be honest. So you got the day trips. I don't know, it seems like it's just keeps on, you know, telling me to do the same kind of events. So maybe I'm just gonna follow my own intuition and do my own thing. Actually, there's one more thing that I would like. It just came to mind. Yesterday, after the stream, I went on YouTube and I always try to look for the video that I can watch from start to finish instead of always just browsing videos and never be satisfied with the one that I have chosen. And you know the way you start watching something and then like 3 minutes in, you're like, okay, I'm just gonna look for the next video, and you might not even watch the full length of the video that you've started. So that's kind of how I was as well. But anyhow, so I ended up like, looking. So I used to watch a lot of vegan YouTubers back in the day, good old days. And honestly, like maybe 10 out of, no, 8 out of 10 people that used to be vegans and I used to watch them, they went completely bonkers. I don't know what the story is with these guys. I'm just gonna put the brightness up a little bit more, but Jesus, like one of them is actually, I think, vegans. He used to call himself a vegan, so I'm not talking about vegan gains because that's another guy. He's also a bit strange, but I'm talking about vegans. I think his name is Fred, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's from Germany, but that guy, like, he used to be like very likable, but then he turned out to be such a strange guy. My God, like the last time, I skipped into one of his kind of podcasts that he did, and they were talking about very strange things. Now I don't really want to get into it because it's disgusting, but if you tell me that you're not gay after doing certain things, like just like strange like that, I know how strange it sounds me saying this as well, but like, and I'm like looking at this like, what is he talking about? Like, this channel used to be good, like this guy used to be normal. Maybe he never was, he just like, he wanted to be, or maybe he just acted, or like he put on this persona. But like, what? This is and honestly, a lot of people are like that. A lot of people that I used to watch became somewhat strange, which is just very strange, I guess. So, messages. What was that? That was how to fast travel. Not a bad idea. I don't mind fast traveling. You want to get your destination faster, you can fast travel to any location you have previously discovered. Okay, good to know. I want to see the map one more time because we have quite a few things that we could do. Okay, so this is a region overview. Okay. It's funny that I've been playing this game. I mean, I wouldn't say a lot, but there's still so many things to discover and so many parts of the map that we haven't yet discovered. So we're gonna barn find. Oh God, should we do a barn find before we finish? I kind of want to do one, but it might take a little bit of time because I'm really bad at the barn finds and it's pretty far away. Can we actually fast travel here? Of course we can. So from here on, I'm gonna go to the barn find and I'm gonna see if we can actually find that car. I mean, it's a Honda NSX, was it? So obviously that's a car that I would like to find, 100% though. So we have another car just here around the corner. Why does it tell me to go all the way around? Are you crazy? I mean, ooh, that was close. I mean, I can be stupid sometimes, but not that stupid. Okay, what is this car? Let me see. It's a Honda Civic. How much? Quanto, 25,000. Is this going to be the car that I'm just gonna leave? Yes, I won't buy it. Not today, but thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see, world map. So we're going up this way. Are we? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Okay. So it's Jesus. See the map, the way it wants to take me around. That's a bit crazy. And it's crazy because it thinks that I'm more crazy. Okay, let's find this. Okay, I'm so bad at the barn finds. I'm so bad. Maybe I'm not so bad after all. It's here, no? It has to be here. What do you mean send gift? I'm here. Is this not the one? Has to be. What do you mean send gifts? I don't want to send a gift. Really? This is not even a barn find? What's going on? Sup? I'm not even gonna read the other shit. What the hell is going on here? Am I freaking stupid? This is not even. Hold on. I think I've. Oh my god, that's already found. What am I doing? It said it's found. Holy moly, I'm bad. We need more barn finds. That's the thing. I want to find more cars. A lot more cars. A lot more. World map. I'm sure there's like plenty of spots that we would be able to find cars at. Like, look at this area. We haven't even explored this yet, which is just absolutely mad. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot that we still have to explore. Yashiki House. Unlockable perk price. Can we buy it from? No, we have to travel, do we? Purchase treasure map. Really? And you have to pay for it? No way. You must be joking me. Treasure map. How much? €3. Oh my god. Everything. They want the money for everything. €3. I mean, look. Not today. I'll get it for the next stream. I'll get it and then we'll do the barn finds. That's what we're gonna do. I mean, that €3 probably won't make me bankrupt anyway. So, okie dokie. That's it. That's it. How much money do we have? We have decent amount. Barn finds. Yeah, we have a lot of cars to find actually. I'm just looking like we got the NSX. We already found this, I think, but it's being restored, and we have a lot of other cars. And I like the way that they don't really give away what kind of cars they are, because if you would, like for example the NSX, it's only like you can only see the shape of the NSX because we already have found it, but the other cars, they have the exact same shape, which I actually like because it makes it a little bit more interesting. So you can't really, you don't really know what you're gonna find eventually. Back to the beautiful Porsche. We like it. I'm proud of this picture that I took, I must say. It's a good picture. It's nice. It's nice. I don't even think it's edited. I don't think it is anyway. Even if it is, it's just probably not heavily edited anyway. So okie dokie, that was it for this stream. I've been streaming for how long? I have no idea. Probably it's getting close to an hour now, so it's a perfect time to end the stream, and that's what I'm gonna do. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any ideas or things that you want me to talk about or mention, or you have any questions, put it down in the comments below. Also tune in to the streams whenever you can. I will try to make the future streams a premiere, so at least you can anticipate when the next stream is going to be. I know sometimes it's pretty random. For now, that's the way I can only do it. I wasn't just gonna premiere the freaking stream 5 minutes before starting the stream itself, so I hope you understand that. Other than that, this has been it. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. And I don't know when that's going to be, but hopefully soon enough.